they use the term core is real.
Mm.
And then I was like, okay, what do you mean by that? What do you do that we work with the same population? We always we help and support each other, across each other. Hopefully we work more together. But you know, to hear somebody say he's real, you know, I can work with him. And those are the terms I hear from a lot of the kids that I've talked to, a lot of groups that, even the young men in our group that we facilitate together sometimes, is when I say your name, they say Corey is real. Right. You know, Corey tells the truth. Right. Now, you know, given that a lot of people tell the truth, right, you know, but what do you do to kind of make people feel comfortable with saying, I can accept the truth from Corey, or what do you bring to the table that makes them feel like it's okay for Corey to challenge me on some of my stuff?
I think early on with people, usually when I start with them, is I try to match people with where they are. And I don't think we give enough kudos to those first moments when we meet people. Those first moments, Jim talks all the time about, if you give me a snapshot of the first minutes that you meet a person, if we tune in to the things that they say, they're going to tell you a story. And if somebody enters into this room right now that we don't know, within the first minute or so, they've given us a story. And if I am here to serve and try to help in the situation, that means I need to be tuned in. And if I tune in to what they're putting out, and if I can tune in with my stuff and be genuine, because people are very good at reading what's genuine. They'll read through it very quickly. The kids that we work with very quickly will say, yeah, I see you coming knocking on my door, and you're a social worker or you're a therapist, but I don't get the feel that you really care about me. So if I don't get the feel early on that you care about me, it's going to be a rougher road. You may be able to get some things done, but the road's going to be rougher. So I really put an asserted effort into that beginning. And again, it goes back to those younger days. Corey, you're going to be bigger than everybody. You have to be very mindful of your presence and what you give off, especially when you first get an opportunity with a person.
With the research emphasis, are there questions you're interested in getting answered, or are there answers you want to put out there more?
Well, as a group, we're all working with the RDA, the Relational Diagnostic Assessment. And I have come to understand and know that there's another aspect, not to obscure the fact that the assessment, the DSM is an important document. It's something that we use, but the key component of having relationships and honoring and shining light on those relationships as we work with our communities, for me, is something that has come to light in the last couple of years under Doc's tutelage. And I think that for me, the specifics of using that and learning more around those situations, how do we honor these relationships, and how do we then turn that into hope and change for our communities, to me, is of the utmost importance. So the research in and around that stuff, around those pieces, for me, going in would be a thrill for me to really kind of get my hands dirty, do research around that, and then come out on the back end saying, I have a greater understanding through this process of what relationships mean, how that's tied into research, and how, again, can I then be a vessel to help my community. I think really would be beginning the end process for me. Now, I'm not still.
Why was I saying that? And what's the benefit? Why is Corey doing that? He's talented. You know, he got experience in the field. You know, he's an excellent person to work with. He works with the client. He's smart. You know, it would be nothing for you to build your own, you know, practice and you know, be able to be successful at that. You know, I asked, like, what would the benefit of him like going out and get this PhD? And I think, you know, for one, number one, I'll be open about it, is you're an African American man, you know, started from the bottom, working your way up to the top, and you know, that's the PhD may be the ultimate prize for you. And also, you know, as a younger generation, as a kid who always looked up to, you know, looking for role models within the community, just outside of my family, what would it be for a kid to come up to you and you say, hey, I'm a PhD grad, and you're and have that interaction with you, and you're such a, you know, kind, warm person, and their experience with a PhD level person is kind of may have been a different experience. So I think you can bring that to the community. You can also bring like the knowledge that you have going, you know, going through a program like that, and bring it back to our communities and help, you know, try to bring our communities together and bring different lights. Your research that you can do, you know, looking at different things that we've all been curious about for so long. You know, I guess the question of the day is, you know, how can we get our community back?
That's right.
And I'm excited for you to do your work, do some work around that, and hopefully work with me and work with, you know, some other professionals that, you know, kind of serve in our community and bring a different light on the work that we do.
I couldn't say it any better than what he just said. Because my answer to the question would be, just as Cedric said, the opportunity to go to the University of Minnesota, one of the most highly recognized institutions in terms of psychology, I mean just in terms of an institution, to be able to get the opportunity to go there and get my PhD, do research about helping my community. I don't think, and it's emotional for me, I know that I can do good work just as we're doing now. We're doing this already. I know I can do that. I could stop today and say this is just what we'll do. But to have the opportunity for me to help better our situation, there's not words for me. We need help. And we need help in our communities, man. And if I can do something to help,